start by saying that I'm quite sure that one or two or more of the 52,000 people that work for Imperial are dishonest. But the issue is, what do we do when we find out about such dishonesty? I believe that the greatest determinants of the culture of a company are who you hire, who you fire, and who you promote. Nothing sends out bigger signals to an organization than those three things. And therefore, when one comes across corrupt or dishonest type behavior, one has to deal with it decisively. The question you asked, Reuel, earlier about Africa, I believe there are vastly different cultures across Africa. But that doesn't mean to say that in doing business in Africa, one has to subscribe to what the, let's call it the country that you're in, behaves as. I mean, I think Bill George said it so well. He said, when in Rome, don't do as the Romans do. And I think that we behave in Africa and in every other country in the world where we operate, we behave on the basis of our values, not on the expected values from the people that we're dealing with. And there's an obvious reason for that. I don't believe that we can expect our managers to compartmentalize their values and say, in South Africa, this is how you behave, but in Zimbabwe, you behave like this, and in Germany, you behave like that, and in Australia, you behave like that. I mean, it goes to the core of the fact that as individuals, we can't compartmentalize our ethics. We can't say, these are my ethics on the golf course, these are my ethics as a father, these are my ethics as a business person, because one loses one's authenticity in doing so. And I think one loses one's authenticity as a business by compromising the messages one gives to people about how we behave. One last thing I would say is that it's too easy to gloss over the diversity of our society. We are a society that has come from extraordinarily valuable tribal ethics, for example. But those have been supplanted because so many of our people are urbanized. And at the same time, we can't accept most of our population can't and won't accept Western ethics, because those are the ethics that gave them colonialism and apartheid. So you've got all of these kind of conflicts which prevent us developing, if you want to call it that, a national ethical view.
Could I add to that, that where business is concerned, a starting point would be to understand that for corruption to even exist, there's got to be a corruptee and a corruptor.
Two parties.
Almost in perfect tango. And without that cooperation between the corruptee and the corruptor, there shall be no corruption. All too often, business will wax lyrical about how clean they are, when in reality, in practice, they actually succumb to the temptation to bribe. They succumb to the temptation to collude. In the build-up to the 2010 World Cup, construction companies did very, very untoward things. And it is companies that we, from a distance, perceived as wholesome, as anti-corrupt. But they colluded. They also rendered themselves amenable to being manipulated by corruptors. So let whoever wants to fight corruption refuse to be entangled with corruptors. There are consequences. Some of us wanted to build schools for argument's sake. Even for building a school where I'm not going to benefit 1 rand, provincial authorities refuse to give you the permission to build a school. They refuse to give you permission to build a clinic. The kinds of things that are not going to benefit you. What do? Do you corrupt them with the bid that they're asking for, or do you stick to your guns? I want to believe that if you stick to your guns, you will reduce in substantial measure the thriving of those that actually thrive on corruption.